house. Videos of burnt notes were found at his home, which sent shockwaves across the country. The recovery sparking a national outcry and a furious debate about accountability in the highest echelons of justice. Now, the Supreme Court in-house panel has indicted Justice Yashwant Varma. The panel, which was formed by the Chief Justice of India on March 22, found merit in allegations and has gathered testimony from various witnesses during the inquiry. The committee report has been sent to the Prime Minister and the President of the country for necessary action, which includes starting a process of his dismissal from office. The panel concluded that a number of the judge's assertions did not align with the available facts. However, Justice Varma, the man in question, has rejected all the allegations against him and has even challenged the report. Now, amidst a growing chorus demanding his impeachment, the union government might bring a motion for the same, is what we're getting to know in the upcoming session of Parliament. The government is in touch with opposition MPs. The process of impeachment is likely to be initiated by the offices of the Lok Sabha Speaker and the Rajya Sabha Chairman. But there are more questions than answers at this stage. 2 months since the cash was found, why is there no FIR registered against the judge? Is it enough to just conduct a judicial inquiry? Is it time for greater checks and balances when it comes to managing corruption in judiciary and to restore public faith? Is impeachment the only answer and the way forward? We'll take all of those questions to our guests joining us in just a bit. But first, let me break down what the panel has found. The panel concluded that material, including burnt sacks of notes, was surreptitiously moved out of the room, which was part of the outhouse, exactly a day after much of the money was blazed in a mysterious fire. According to the panel, removing burnt notes was akin to destruction of crucial evidence so that no links could be established with the judge. The panel is of the belief that the court staff at the judge's house might be involved in the destruction of this evidence. The judge, during the course of investigation, had reportedly claimed that this outhouse room was not locked, but the committee found that the room was kept locked, and it was only after the fire incident that the lock was broken open to allow firefighters to enter. The in-house inquiry into Justice Yashwant Varma was conducted by a committee comprising 3 justices. They spoke to multiple people in the know of the matter. These included the Delhi Police Commissioner itself, other police officials, fire department personnel, judge's daughter, Justice Varma's daughter, and Justice Varma's private secretary as well, along with the court staff that had been attached to the judge, because all of them are bearing witness to this entire episode. Now, after this indictment, the chorus for his impeachment is growing, but this process is rarely adopted because of how cumbersome it is, and it has never been successful in India's history. So what is this process? First, the notice for initiation needs to be signed by at least 100 Lok Sabha MPs or 50 Rajya Sabha MPs. Depending on the House, the chair has the discretion whether to allow it or not. If admitted, a 3-member panel is formed to further probe the charges. These include an SC judge, a High Court Chief Justice, and a distinguished jurist. The judge is entitled to a fair hearing, including the right to respond to charges and cross-examination of witnesses. But if found guilty, the matter is then sent back to Parliament for vote. 2/3 majority of those present needs to be attained for the impeachment to be successful. With that, we've come to the big question we're asking today. This in-house panel probe has indicted the judge, but is it enough to just go for impeachment? Is impeachment the only answer? Some are even talking about resignation. Can that be accepted under such circumstances? Or should there be criminal proceedings against the justice?
ये जो है एक केस क्रिमिनल केस बनता है। ये जुडिशल प्रोप्राइटरी तो ये कहती है कि उनके ऊपर FIR दर्ज करने का ऑर्डर होना चाहिए था और ये CJI को देना चाहिए।
It is victory of public at large, because public at large का जो trust है, that trust is the foundation of power of judiciary.
Whether there should be a criminal investigation and the registration of an FIR to begin that criminal investigation into the allegations.
judiciary also should understand it has to work within the framework of the constitution.
कांग्रेस हमेशा भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ रही है। जुडिशरी का हम सम्मान करते हैं। हम मानते हैं लोकतंत्र का ऐसा मजबूत स्तंभ है जिस पे जन जन का विश्वास है। उसका विश्वास बनाए रखने के लिए गुण दोष पर हम उस पर विचार करें।
First up, I want to go across to retired Justice S.N. Dhingra, former judge of the Delhi High Court. I do appreciate you, Justice Dhingra, for joining us. Can there be any justification that even though a judge has been indicted by an in-house panel, there isn't any need for any criminal investigation? Vice President Dhankar has even talked about revisiting the Veeraswamy case. Do you believe that there cannot be any justice in this case unless a criminal proceeding is also initiated?
See, where is justice in this case? The committee has stopped short of investigating as to what was the source of money. Committee has only investigated whether money was there in the storeroom or not. It has not gone into the question what was the source of money. So this inquiry which has been conducted by the committee is actually of the facts which were already known to the people, and committee has only confirmed. Where is the investigation actually? There is no investigation. Committee has only confirmed what was already in the public domain, that notes were there in the private outhouse and they got burnt. Committee has confirmed this fact, that's all. And they belong to, the outhouse was actually being used by Justice Varma and his family, and they used to put their belongings. That could be assessed only after taking key from them. So these are the facts which were broadly in the knowledge of the public already.
Right.
So what committee has done? I don't know.
So you're agreeing to the fact.
Reached to that.
So then, may I take it that you're agreeing to the fact that to take justice forward in this matter, there must be an FIR and a criminal proceeding to investigate further?
See, it is a criminal case. Assume that this money has, see, if you are going through some newspaper these days, and Ahmed has been arrested only on the charge that he was accepting money, no money has been recovered. And Ahmed of the court has been arrested that he had asked money, no money has been recovered. Here in this case, if from judge house crores of rupees are recovered, and you are not doing investigation into in which cases he accepted the money, what was the source of his money? Why he was not, you see, the first thing should have been the registration of FIR. Now, if you say that FIR cannot be registered without nod from the High Court or Supreme Court, then High Court Chief Justice should have given nod immediately. That okay, it is not a matter which can be investigated by any other agency except specialized agency. Then he sent it to, he passed on the buck to Chief Justice of India. Chief Justice of India, see, instead of ordering investigation by CBI or other agency, constituted an inquiry to go into the facts already known. He wanted the confirmation of the facts which were being circulated in media, that a fire took place, bundles of notes were burnt within the storehouse, and that's all. Where is the investigation? I don't know.
So
if this
why
is called investigation?
So why is the High Court or the Supreme Court?
In every case, it should be like that.
So why is the High Court or the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice not ordering one? Why do you think they're not ordering one when it has become obvious that to restore public faith, an FIR must be registered and an investigation must be conducted?
See, why they are not ordering, only they can answer. I can only say that shielding a corrupt man is equal heinous crime as the corruption itself. You have shielded a man. You have shielded a judge whose house was found full of notes. And you see, the situation has come that the currency notes he could not store in his own house, he stored in the outhouse. See, look at the situation at which level of corruption is there in the judiciary. And this is not a single case. You are transferring judges from one court to other court, as you see, police transfers one SHO from one thana to other thana. When a case of corruption or impropriety comes against a SHO or a police person, you just say, okay, we will transfer him from this to that place. So, is the corruption wiped out? It is putting corruption under carpet. See, I don't know why judiciary is acting in this manner. Only judges who are acting in this manner can answer why they have not ordered. And I'm
Mr. Dhingra, can you hear me? Okay, let's try and get that connection with Justice Dhingra back. But he's saying something very important, which is that while he can't answer for why an FIR is not being ordered by the Chief Justice or the Supreme Court, shielding a corrupt person is also a crime. And he believes in this case, effectively, Justice Varma has been shielded from what seems to be a clear-cut case of corruption. What is also interesting right now is that while impeachment chorus is growing, some were also suggesting that Justice Varma has refused to resign. Justice Dhingra, I have you back with me. I wanted to ask you that there was this suggestion that Justice Varma should resign, but just resignation and then escaping an investigation, would that have not been a travesty in itself? Resignation cannot be a solution to such a finding.
See, that would be rewarding the corruption. You see, once you resign or you take voluntary retirement, you are entitled for all full benefits of the service. You get pension, you get gratuity, you get all perks which are attached to a retired judge, and you get everything. Only you lose is 6 months or 1 year of remaining service. That is not the punishment. See, this is rewarding. If this is the law, it should be applied to every Tom, Dick and Harry in the, you see, IAS, IPS, that you, whenever somebody is caught in corruption, tell him you resign and go home. Is it the law of this country? And this is the same Supreme Court which had made observation, howsoever high you may be, law is above you. But law is above common man, not above these VIPs and above our lords. These are lords of our Supreme Court and High Court. If law, you see, if any other head of department had refused to get an FIR registered, Supreme Court would have called that head of department to its court and scolded and left and right him that you do not know law, you have no basic understanding of law, that you are saying no FIR should be registered. And here is the Supreme Court bench which is saying, no, we will not order registration of FIR. You go to Prime Minister. Why should they go to Prime Minister? He was working in High Court. And for registration of FIR, nod of High Court Chief Justice or Supreme Court Chief Justice is required in all criminal cases. Why they did not give this nod? They should give the nod to the police for registration of FIR. If they
first they tried to transfer the judge.
They are equally culpable.
First they tried to transfer the judge. Now there is no nod for an FIR. But Justice Dhingra, I want to ask you a question also about Justice Varma's previous rulings. What happens to them? If there is a taint of corruption on a judge so openly, what happens to their past rulings?
This is what I was saying. The source of money should have been investigated. In what cases he accepted bribe? Then only you would have known whether those judgments were given again for consideration or they were fair judgments.
Should they be
Anybody
reopened?
can challenge that no. Yes, the party affected can go to the court, reopen it, because I doubt that this judgment was given against me because of corruption. Or the Supreme Court can so moto also say that yes, we will reopen. Recently in Punjab Haryana High Court, on the charge of impropriety or corruption, after reserving of judgment, Chief Justice has called the case to its own bench. Why so? Only because there was doubt that the case was being decided on the basis of corruption.
Right.
So that should be the right approach, that you reconsider those judgments given by a judge and find out the source of money, and the judge should be treated like any other criminal.
Sir, my
That's all.
final question to you, Justice Dhingra. Chorus for Justice Varma's impeachment is growing. It's a cumbersome process. It has never been successful in India, attempted very seriously twice, but overall 6 times. Do you think in this case it would be the right thing to do, impeach Justice Varma apart from other proceedings? And do you think it will be successful?
You see, impeachment is needed to remove him from the post, which can be, he can be removed only by impeachment.
Yes.
He will otherwise continue on the post. Criminal action is altogether separate from impeachment. Criminal action is for criminal act, not for any other impropriety. And there is no protection available to judges for corrupt practices, for adopting corrupt practices. You see, here Justice Varma's stand was that I have been framed up. Then where was the necessity of even nod from the Chief Justice? Police Commissioner should have taken courage to register an FIR that this money has been found in this condition. The owner of the house or the allottee of the house says that he is being framed up, so we will find out. We are registering an FIR to find out the source of money and framing up.
Right.
That would have been some, but police did not take that courage. Police is, so afraid. Actually, the attitude of our High Courts and Supreme Court in cases of bureaucrats and police officers is so rough, so shoddy, that they call anybody to the courts and scold him publicly. Looking at that attitude, our bureaucrats and they are always afraid of going to, taking anything against the Supreme Court and High Court. That is why the police must be afraid.
Yeah. Is that impeding justice in this case? That's really the big question now. Justice Dhingra, I do thank you for joining us and laying the ground really of what should ideally be happening as far as this matter is concerned. Let's open this up to our other guests. R. Rajagopalan is a senior journalist, Nikul Patel, political analyst, Dinesh Jotwani is an advocate in the Supreme Court, and C. Rajashekharan is a lawyer also joining us. Nikul, let me ask you first. It seems like the impeachment is frankly a sideshow as far as this matter is concerned. The real issue here is that impeachment should go on side by side, but the real issue is whether there will be criminal proceedings or not against this judge. Without that, there cannot be any justice.
Yeah, definitely. In our country, judiciary is one of the system where people seek that justice. And when that justice itself is corrupt, then there are so many questions that has been raised by the citizen of the country. Now, what had been seen on videos, definitely people are very shocked about it. And just impeachment is your Judges Inquiry Act 1968 states that how you impeach your judge to remove it. But definitely there should be a criminal proceedings. I think there are lokayuks. Even we can say that Prime Minister who is very favoring corruption, that anti-corruption, then he must also ask the respective police commissioner to file an FIR so that whatever inquiry and what is the source of money from where it was there, all should need to be investigated. removing a judge is one of the procedure, but definitely what crime he
Exactly.
has committed by taking the position of his seat. I think the government must also focus on it. Just carrying out an impeachment procedure is only a procedure, but definitely this has to be given one kind of example, because as you rightly said, in an Indian history we find this procedure only for removal and there is no such result that has been got by
Yeah.
impeachment process. I think an example must be set by the present government that this is the corrupt practices that is happening into the court judges, and if it is happening that we will not be tolerating it, as what the policy of Pradhan Mantri is.
And Rajagopalan, impeachment is a procedural issue. Let's not miss the woods for the trees. What we really need to focus on, whether there can be an investigation. As you heard, you must have heard, Justice Dhingra says there is no investigation. The in-house panel has only verified what had already come out in public. Now an investigation must begin.
Sister, when on the day of the news item appeared, Justice Varma's case was deliberated in Rajya Sabha in detail. Mr. Jaideep Dhankar, the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, asked leader of opposition Mallikarjun Kharge and ruling party leader Mr. J.P. Nadda to come and sit, and the subsequent day, all the political leaders gave their comment. Half impeachment is over. Now it is high time the police commissioner should register an FIR, but that police commissioner cannot do on his own unless the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, gives permission. So therefore, it comes to a political now.
No,
now
isn't there a legal permission required from Chief Justice of the High Court or from the CGI?
For government, permission is required. That is what I heard from one lawyer. Second thing, it has become a football. From court to politics, politics to parliament, parliament to home ministry. So therefore, this rigmarole. Public is, they are losing confidence in judiciary. What an amount of, Jagdeep Dhankar, Vice President of India, outside the Parliament also spoke. Whose money it was? If it was not Mr. J.C. Varma's, whose money was it? So these hundreds of crores of rupees have been burnt, and therefore, the Government of India, high time, it has got two short-term, long-term proposals. One, impeachment. Second thing, National Judicial Accountability Bill is important. For yesterday, the Chief Justice of India, Mr. Gawai, commented on ED on Tamil Nadu case. Same judge is not delivering his judgment on his own brother judge. Hundreds of crores. So therefore, there are diabolical issues even among the judiciary. My understanding is high time the present Chief Justice refers to FIR and file a criminal case.
Dinesh Jotwani, who's going to bell the cat? It seems like nobody wants to bell the cat. Everybody's too afraid of touching this hot potato.
That's true. We are seeing transfer of the judge. We are seeing a committee report. We are seeing matter being taken by Home Ministry. Now with Lok Sabha, indictment may take place. Then in Rajya Sabha, it may take place, and then the president's approval. You are right. I mean, there's no one authority that is actually investigating. There's no one authority that is finally putting it. But as far as the procedure, see, good thing about this committee was that it's given a report against Justice Varma. It has come out with 2 or 3 good conclusions. Final conclusion that money was there, the ownership of the outhouse was his, so responsibility was his, and they have indicted. So one step, at least the committee has come out. We cannot criticize. Of course, the committee did not investigate, as Honorable Justice Dhingra put it earlier. But there is a conclusion that has come that the money was in the outhouse that belonged to Justice Varma. And what is the next step now? Is FIR the only next step, or what other option we have? Of course, we have seen earlier failure of so many proceedings against the judges that have taken place and have failed in India. What is the next step now? I think, again, as Justice Dhingra earlier pointed out, one is, of course, now there's a committee report also. So 2 things can go parallelly. Of course, the proceedings in the Lok Sabha, and then followed by Rajya Sabha. But at the same time, let there be an investigation also.
Exactly.
Like
But
like
who's going to
rightly
order
asked.
it? Nobody seems to be wanting to order it. Shouldn't it have been the Supreme Court's responsibility in this case to say, okay, this is what our committee found. With this report, we are also ordering the registering of an FIR. Let the police take it forward. Shouldn't they have done
So
this?
we do not know who is going to, because it is unprecedented. It has never happened in the history. So whether Home Ministry will do it, or whether the Chief Justice Delhi High Court will do it, or Chief Justice India will do it, it has never been done before.
Well, it never
What has-
stopped judges before from filling a vacuum. Why are they so afraid of filling a vacuum in this case, if there is indeed a vacuum?
I agree with you. The judges have the powers to do it, but so has Home Ministry to do it. So Delhi police can do it. But who will bell the cat? As you rightly said, what is the question? But one thing is sure, at this point of time, Justice Varma has said he is not going to resign.
Yeah.
Number
No,
two, what he has said, he is going to challenge this
fair
indictment
enough.
order.
Fair enough.
So
No, that's his right. We
tomorrow-
must accord him the right trial, as is under the process of an impeachment as well. But of all people, if he's saying he's been framed, of all people, he should be in support of an investigation. Because how would you prove that you've been framed unless there is an investigation conducted? Let me take that to C. Rajashekharan. Why is Justice Varma not filing an FIR or a complaint that he's been framed?
See, actually, this is a classic case of political interference with an agenda into intruding the judiciary and its system. Today, we are seeing a case, unprecedented case of corruption at the highest level in a high court judge's residence. Crores and crores of money has been found and nobody knows the origin of the cash. From where did this cash come from? That is a very important, pertinent question. Nobody has answered this question. Secondly, you are going to blame the Supreme Court, the High Court, and every next judge, and you are sabotaging the system, the judiciary. What is the net result? The common man of this country is going to lose respect towards the
No, one second. Who's sabotaging the system? One second. Who's sabotaging the system? Please.
I could see a political agenda behind this case. You are
Political
targeting the
agenda
judges.
behind this case. One second, C. Rajashekharan, can you please elaborate
Yes.
on this? What's the political agenda and who's sabotaging the judiciary?
So I'll tell you. See, nobody knows where this cash had been kept.
Right.
The concerned judge is saying it is a conspiracy against my reputation.
Yes.
And he is saying that it has been planted. This money has been planted in my outhouse. So all this put together, I am not defending the corruption or the money inside the judge's house. Neither I am saying Justice Varma is an honest man or a corrupt man. I am not passing judgments on media trials and newspaper articles. Let me be fair. See, you have an agenda. Political interference is blatant.
No, sir,
You want
I'm not
to
understanding
bring
how you're making that
NJAC.
charge.
You want
I'm
to
not
question the
understanding. One
collegium.
second.
Please allow me, don't tackle me. Please allow me, don't tackle me. You are questioning the collegium system. You are questioning the judges' selection. Now
I'm
you
not.
are saying NJAC has to come. And all this put in a nutshell, I see a conspiracy behind this whole.
Okay. I think I got your point now. I got
He
your
may be
point
corrupt
now.
or he may be
R.
honest. That is
Rajagopalan will
different.
respond to this because he brought up the appointments bill. He will respond to this. Is this all a canard so that you can push that reform bill that has so far not been successful? This is an agenda and a conspiracy.
There is no political agenda. Rajashekharan is unnecessarily casting aspirations on the political parties. It is for
Mr.
the judge.
Rajagopalan always has apprehensions towards my points. Always. My friend Rajagopalan knows me.
And the healthy democracy, I say, healthy debate.
Yeah.
Now coming to the
Let
point-
him complete. Let him complete. Yeah.
Now coming to the point, as Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar, the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, suggested, there should be an all-party meeting. Yes, there was an all-party meeting. Yes, leader of opposition Mallikarjun Kharge and JP Nadda, the chairman of the leader of the House of Rajya Sabha, they sat together. My understanding again is, government should refer this to a privilege committee of the Supreme Court, and Chief Justice of India should be made as accountable, because this Chief Justice is going to be there for only 10 or 15 days more. And the other Chief Justice who is going to take over from him will also have a short time. Therefore, judges are playing with this. My understanding is by that time, Mr. Justice Varma will retire and things will be closed. Therefore, the commission of inquiry will be useless unless
Allow that to happen. We mustn't allow that to happen. It will be a blot on the Indian democracy if someone enjoys retirement benefits as a retired judge despite this taint.
Sister, 1 second. When the nuclear bill was discussed in Parliament, 3 crore rupees cash was established in Parliament. Nothing happened. Bangaru Lakshman, 1 lakh rupees, nothing happened. And now this is more than 200 crores, nothing happened. So what is happening with the judicial system? The public are losing the faith in this judiciary. High time President of India calls a meeting of Chief Justice of other courts and come to a resolution. Otherwise, there is no end to this.
Okay, I have a minute left. I'll give 30 seconds to Dinesh Jotwani. Yes, sir, you raised your finger. 30 seconds only.
Yes, I just wanted to point out at that point of time that as far as the political aspect of this is concerned, all the political parties have said that they are in favor of the indictment committee that has taken place, and they want the judge to be expelled. So as far as politics is concerned, we all know every party has taken a stance on it, almost at this point of time. The second is there are now only 3 strategies left. One is, of course, the Lok Sabha impeachment proceedings that will take place. Number 2, the FIR that should take place. And FIR by whom? FIR by the Chief Justice, or as mentioned on the Privilege Committee of the Chief Justice, or the FIR by the Home Ministry. The third probably action that strategy is from Justice Varma's side is that he will take a stay on the indictment proceedings that are taking place. So
yeah, but we mustn't allow this report. No, yeah, but we mustn't allow the report to become a hindrance to what should be other processes of natural justice. Like I said, let's not miss the woods for the trees, because this report is only what it is. It only serves a certain amount of purpose and nothing else. There was some due diligence that was required before an FIR should be filed. That due diligence has been done. Now, opposition to that report, stay on that report, those legalese should not come into the picture till Justice Varma then retires and nobody can do anything. Let's not have that situation. Yes. Nicole, 30 seconds, final 30 seconds to you.
I think as courts are taking suo moto, I think Lokayukt, I don't know what powers he is having. Lokayukt must take suo moto, or Pradhan Mantri must take a call and do the needful in the larger interest of
the country. No, but if the PM takes a call, Nicole, then C. Rajashekharan and others will say this is political agenda.
No, PM is not political agenda. Prime Minister is the one who is the democratic head of the country.
No, Prime Minister,
he must ask Home Ministry to process.
It's ridiculous to say Prime Minister has to take a call on a judge. I don't buy that argument. I strongly disagree with the Prime Minister if he tries to interfere into judiciary.
Criminal proceedings.
Chief Justice of India, Mr. Gawai, should order an FIR. Simple as that.
Yeah, that will put all controversy to rest. As far as the initiation of a probe is concerned.
Because my Pradhan Mantri is intervening every day. I think in the matter of
the job of the Pradhan Mantri to go into
he must intervene and
let him take care of the administration of the country.
Okay. Let's not talk over each other. I leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Exactly who will bell the cat is now the big question. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today has criticized the Indus Water Treaty, calling it badly negotiated and prejudicial to India's interests. His comments have ignited another bitter war of words between the government and the Congress party. Prime Minister argued that the treaty restricts India from fully utilizing its share of water from the Indus river system, particularly highlighting issues like the inability to desilt dams and clear sediments, which impacts reservoir capacity. The Congress hit back, calling it, quote, a pathetic attempt to divert attention from several serious issues facing the country. But with the abeyance of the Indus Water Treaty, here's why India is on a strong footing despite the warnings that are coming in from Pakistan. The text of the IWT remains exclusively focused on water sharing issue, but it has lines which talk about goodwill and trust between both nations. Apart from goodwill and friendship, the IWT highlights cooperative spirit between the two countries and avoid troubling each other. Article 9 on settlement of differences and disputes calls for peaceful resolution and restraint. Pakistan's repeated objections over India's hydropower projects like in Baglihar, Kishanganga, Ratle may reflect bad faith use of international forums, sidestepping cooperative mechanisms. And Article 12.3 mentions scope for modification of treaties provisions by mutual agreement. But India's repeated requests for such modifications have been refused by Pakistan so far. So apart from the fact that there is no goodwill left between the two countries because of rampant terrorism emanating from Pakistan, there are other issues that India can raise as well. The point of debate today, though, is political. Was the Indus Water Treaty a burden on India that was placed due to misplaced priorities by past governments?
पाकिस्तान को भारत के हक का पानी नहीं मिलेगा। भारतीयों के खून से खेलना पाकिस्तान को महंगा पड़ेगा।
तुम हमारा पानी बंद कर दोगे, हम तुम्हारा सांस बंद कर देंगे।
और अभी तो मैंने कुछ ज्यादा किया नहीं है। अभी तो हमने कहा है कि हमने इसको एबेंस में रखा है। वहां पसीना छूट रहा है। 1960 में जो इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी हुई है, अगर उसकी बारीकी में जाएंगे तो आप चौंक जाएंगे।
मोदी जी और उनकी पूरी टीम केवल जुमलों के बाजीगर नहीं है, शब्दों के भी बाजीगर हैं।
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Ashpreet Kadial is spokesperson of the Congress Party. Sant Kumar Sharma is author, Indus Water Story, and an expert on the treaty. But Ashpreet, I begin with you. The Prime Minister is laying focus on the provisions of the Indus Water Treaty that have progressively made it harder for India to use the water that it even had in its share. Forget about the fact that the lion's share went to Pakistan and not to India. Why is the Congress Party so upset with this? Because it's not just about the Congress Party, it is about what was the treaty signed by India at that time.
Thank you for the question, Shivani. Please allow me a minute uninterrupted. First and foremost, Mr. Modi has given a very clear message to the people of India that the Bharatiya Janata Party does not want a united house. They want a divided house. And they have made it very clear that the Bharatiya Janata Party wants to be doing politics even on such important matters of national security. And the Bharatiya Janata Party, ought to tell us a few things. Is this because Mr. Modi was making all these statements? Why did he have to go to Pakistan, visit Nawaz Sharif on his granddaughter's wedding, have Kashmiri chai with him, have biryani with him, break all the protocols, etc., etc. Number two, we all want to ask Bharatiya Janata Party this thing that Mr. Modi had said in 2019 that we'll be retaking Aksai Chin. And yet we failed to even retake Despang, Demchok and whatnot. And number three, why the BJP leaders have been making a statement, why could we not go on for 3 more days back in the day, etc. I want to ask it from the Bharatiya Janata Party, why could we not? That is what the people are asking. That we, number one, had a ceasefire with Pakistan.
Can we come to the Indus Water Treaty now, Ashpreet? I've given you a minute uninterrupted. Can we come to the subject I'm discussing?
I want to make it very clear that it's very important for us to be discussing the main issue here.
You've registered the main issue. Can I come back to the question I asked you now?
Why did US have to threaten us? Why did the US have to say that if you do ceasefire, trade will happen? If you do not do a ceasefire, trade will not happen? Why did the US have to become the big brother here? And why did it have to announce the ceasefire before us? Then we announced it at number 3. Where did the Bharatiya Janata Party?
No, number 3. Ashpreet, I'm not going to allow you to go on and on. I've given you an uninterrupted minute. You're not speaking on the subject. You must speak on the subject that you have come to debate. You cannot keep talking about everything else under the sun.
It is the subject.
No, I'm sorry. I'm discussing the Indus Water Treaty. You knew about the program and the topic beforehand. You must address the question I'm asking you. This is a routine problem with you, Ashpreet. This is not a problem with other Congress spokespersons. You must address the subject that we're discussing.
Well, if the anchor is not, Shivani, if you're not satisfied with our questions to the government, then
You
I'm
have to
sorry,
at least answer my question. It's not
This
about
is
me being
the
satisfied with
reason as
it.
to why
You
the
haven't
reason as to why
spoken about the Indus Water Treaty.
water was brought up because of this issue. Why is Indus water being brought up because of this issue now? So that is what we are talking about.
So,
and why does the
can I
Bharatiya
get
Janata
an
Party not
answer
have
from
answers to it?
you on what is the Congress Party's response to the Prime Minister saying that this treaty was prejudicial to India's interests? Please respond on that.
Yes, if only you had heard, Shivani, I told you that the Bharatiya Janata Party is doing politics here. Instead of having a united house, instead of having a special parliament session, instead of coming into the all-party meeting, the Bharatiya Janata Party is doing politics. Mr. Modi is doing politics.
Okay.
And instead of having the support of the opposition, Mr. Modi
That is the only response to this?
Mr. Modi wants to be indulging into criticism, where, as a matter of fact, the country is asking, what of the minister who has called the daughter of the nation, Colonel Qureshi, a sister of terrorists? Why did Mr. Modi not have anything to say over that? Why did Mr. Modi not tell us why has Vijay Shah not been expelled from the cabinet? Why did Mr. Modi not tell us why has Vijay Shah not been expelled from the party? Despite such obnoxious and condemnable statements that he made about the army, he lowered down the morale of the army. And number two, the Bharatiya Janata Party
Is that a defense to India's interests being subsided when the treaty was fined? I don't understand. I'm not understanding why you're bringing these issues that we have discussed in the aftermath of the Pahalgam attack and Operation Sindoor as a response to what we're discussing today. I don't understand. It's not making your party's position clear as well.
This is what
you've had your say. Ashpreet, you've had your say. Please don't keep going on ad nauseum. Charu Pragya of the BJP is now joining us. Charu Pragya, politicizing of the IWT. If it was such a big problem, why is it taking 11 years for the BJP government or the Modi government to act on it? If it was so problematic.
Shivani, good evening. India has always been a country that has upheld every single promise, every single treaty it has made on the international platform. You will remember that after 65, 71, Kargil, even 2611, Indus Water Treaty was never cancelled. But the fact remains that it has been an unfair one. The fact also remains that when the Indus Water Treaty can be weaponized by Pakistan, we have seen time and time again them going, to the international platform and misusing it, allowing us underdevelopment from what we are allowed. Today we have declared firmly and clearly that blood and water cannot flow together. I do not understand why is the opposition in arms today at a time like this. We should.
Is this treaty fundamentally prejudicial? Sant Kumar Sharma is also with us, away from the politics. Will you concede? Will you agree with the caption that this treaty was prejudicial to India to begin with? Was it done as a gesture? Charu, just one second, I'm coming back to you. Was it done as a gesture to buy peace from Pakistan? In fact, Jawaharlal Nehru is on record to say that this will buy peace, either for Pakistan or from Pakistan. Yes. So did we make an error in judgment at that time?
No, error in judgment was also at one level when the Indian government decided to give money that was withheld and had been with us. At that time, Mahatma Gandhi went on a hunger strike and said that you have to give them 55 crores. You have withheld that money. So there were things that happened that should not have happened, and we gave that 5 crore rupee when a war was on and when Pakistan had attacked J&K.
Yes.
In the midst of all that, we gave that money. So there are error of judgments, there are issues that have happened. So the politics of it is between Congress and BJP and other things, other parties. It's not for me to pronounce a judgment on that. But what I will say is here, how it has come to this path, how has come to this level. Now one thing, Shivani, you must have seen, volcanic eruption doesn't happen overnight. How does volcano build up? A volcanic eruption builds up because the lava keeps on accumulating. So all the lava that was accumulating of anger against Pakistan, of terrorist attacks by Pakistan, that has come to the surface now. It is not that it has happened overnight. When
the final straw on the back of the camel, as they say. But Ashpreet, come back into this.
Yes.
The question.
Can I finish my thought?
Yeah,
please,
sure.
Shivani?
Charu, we lost you. Go ahead.
Sorry. So let me just say one more thing. See, giving water to another country cannot be charity. It's a geopolitical decision. What was decided in 1960 doesn't apply to our country today. We have not taken into account droughts and floods and glacier melts and the water requirements of our own people. We are not doing anything hasty. We are doing a fair review. We are putting our people first. We are putting our nation first. So I want to ask again, what is the opposition up in arms about? What exactly? Please tell me.
They're saying that you blame Jawaharlal Nehru for everything.
Absolutely, he did that in a completely unfair manner. 80% of our waters, did he not think about the people of India? Did he not think about the fact that the area in Ladakh has water scarcity? Did he not plan for the future at all? They didn't plan for the future, Shivani. एक हिंदी में कहावत है, लम्हों में खता की और सदियों ने सजा पाई. From 1960 to 2025, our nation is still suffering.
What was the need for this largesse for Pakistan? Was it not an error in judgment? Sant Kumar Sharma has also spoken. Arshpreet, would you like to address this now?
See, number one, Shivani, I hope I'll be allowed another minute uninterrupted. See, we have made it very clear that all of it is being done with an agenda, with an objective to divert the attention from the main issue. The main issue at hand is that why did Mr. Jaishankar said that we gave a good advice to Pakistan. At the start of the operation, we gave a message to Pakistan that this is where we're going to be attacking. Mr. Modi knows it, that the country is questioning them, that the country wants a special parliament session. And in order to avoid all of that, in order to dodge all of that, they have tried to divert the attention by posing questions at us. When, as a matter of fact, the Bharatiya Janata Party's government ought to be answering a few questions. Why give this advance advice?
You're repeating yourself. For the fourth time, you're repeating the same thing.
This is the first time I'm saying this. Please rewind the
By our Honorable External Affairs Minister and the DGMO of the operation.
The same questions you keep repeating. Ashpreet, you keep doing the same thing again and again.
This is the first statement. Please rewind the debate and
No.
go through it. And if this is
Again, even if you're saying that this is a diversionary tactic, let me ask you a follow-up question. Even if you say this is a diversionary tactic, under this treaty, 80% of the water went to Pakistan, only 20% was left with India. India wasn't allowed to build any infrastructure. Can you please justify why these terms were accepted?
There are two things to it. Now, please hear me. Two things to it. One, we told you it's a diversionary tactic. And number two, if there was a problem with this, the Bharatiya Janata Party's government would have spoken 11 years ago. They would have spoken 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago. But
yes, we were honoring the promises made by our nation until it became a bit too much.
I can't, Shivani. If this
No, I've asked that question to Charu. Why are they only waking up now? Sant Kumar Sharma has also responded to that. Please move forward. Don't be stuck in what you're saying since the start of the program. I ask you again, Ashpreet. I ask you again. Were these terms unfair? What is the Congress Party's response to why this largesse was shown to Pakistan that had already initiated jihad in Jammu and Kashmir by that time? Why was this largesse shown to Pakistan? Please address this question.
Now allow me to please complete. The BJP spokesperson interrupted me 4 times already.
No, she hasn't. Please answer my question.
This is one concern that I have with your way of hosting the show, Shivani.
I'm asking you the same question for the last 10 minutes. You're not answering my question.
Because I was answering a question. The Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to dodge the real questions.
If you have only that much to say, I can't give you unending time to repeat yourself. Mr. Sant Kumar Sharma wants to come in. Ashpreet, you've repeated this 4 times. I'm sorry to say. This is not adding to the debate. This is not adding to what the Congress Party's viewpoint is for the viewers. You should question whether you're doing justice to the Congress Party's viewpoint. Sant Kumar Sharma, please. Please lower his fader.
Please go ahead.
Sant Kumar Sharma, yes.
Just what has happened is, I will just only talk of this thing as to how Congress and BJP governments have behaved differently. When 2008 attack happened at Mumbai, that was done by Lashkar-e-Taiba, and we saw an orgy of death and for 3 days, and it was televised live. One of the first attacks to be televised live, and it was 166 or 170 people who died over 3 days.
Yes.
At that time, the Congress government was in power, and the Congress government in power did nothing to respond to that. by way of bringing IWT into question. But when in 2016 the same thing happened and there was an attack on Pathankot airbase and all, the phrase that came into much circulation was blood and water can't flow together.
Yes.
Terror and talks can't go together. In 2019, after the Pulwama blast of 14 February 2019, we decided to start 3 projects on Ravi, and we again said that the terror and talks can't go together, and that led to Balakot strikes. Now this time around, in 2016, in September again, there was an attack on Uri, and it led to the surgical strikes. Now we have escalated, the BJP governments, all BJP governments have escalated over a period of time. They have repeatedly warned, and you remember, we go back to 24 years earlier. We remember that on 30th December 2001, there was an attack on Parliament which was carried out by Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba module.
Yes.
At that time, the Indus Water Treaty was brought into focus, brought as a pressure point for the first time into the debate, and it was injected into the debate by Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Okay. Fair enough. So you're saying that the perspective on the treaty has been dramatically different by both parties, and therefore...
remind Article 62 also, Shivani.
Charu, I have 30 seconds. 30 seconds, ma'am.
There are the 4 terrorists. When will they be nabbed?
62.
When will the 4 terrorists be
Article
nabbed?
62. Ashpreet, Article 62 of the Vienna Convention clearly says that we can terminate the treaty if there are fundamental changes in circumstances. This attack is a fundamental change in circumstances. It's an act of war, and India is responding appropriately. The point here also being raised is that why is Congress becoming an echo chamber of everything being said by the enemy state of Pakistan? Please tell me that, Ashpreet. Every time you're interrupting, you're echoing sentiments.
I've debated all of these issues yesterday. Unfortunately, I cannot go into this today when the subject is entirely different. I've run out of time. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Some breaking updates also coming in. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to meet Navy personnel on board India's INS Vikrant. This is to take place on May 30. Carrier battle group was deployed in the Northern Arabian Sea. Remember, during Operation Sindoor, it was ready to act if the situation does arose. Raksha Mantri has been going across the country, particularly on the western border, to meet the personnel that were involved in Operation Sindoor, and he will also be on board the INS Vikrant now to meet the Navy personnel. On that note, time for me to take your leave. The Right Stand is coming up after a very short break.
This is The Drive.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Alipurduar in West Bengal, Minister Udayan Guha has sparked a political firestorm with a controversial remark about Operation Sindoor. Udayan Guha, the Minister of North Bengal Development and a key Mamata Banerjee ally, has said that Operation Sindoor is being sold as a business. Someone who used to sell hot tea is now selling hot sindoor. The BJP has strongly condemned Guha's remarks, calling them an insult to the martyrs of the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam and a disrespect to India's armed forces. The party demanded Mamata Banerjee take immediate action and remove Guha from her cabinet, citing concerns over national security in the strategically sensitive North Bengal region. Listen in.
কেউ কেউ আগে হয়তো চায়ের ব্যবসা করতেন, এখন তারা কেউ কেউ হয়তো সিঁদুরের ব্যবসা করছেন। আগে গরম চা বিক্রি করতেন, এখন গরম সিঁদুর তাদের রক্তের মধ্যে দিয়ে বয়ে যাচ্ছে। সেই সিঁদুর বিক্রি করবার জন্য একেবারে উত্তরবঙ্গের আলিপুরদুয়ার পর্যন্ত ছুটে আসছেন। কিন্তু আমার বক্তব্যটা হচ্ছে যে এইভাবে মানুষের মধ্যে বিষ ঢুকিয়ে দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করবেন না। মানুষের মধ্যে বিষ ঢুকিয়ে দিয়ে, ধর্মীয় বিষ ঢুকিয়ে দিয়ে মানুষে মানুষে বিভাজন তৈরি করবার চেষ্টা করবেন না। গরম চা বিক্রি করতেন, এখন তিনি গরম সিঁদুর বিক্রি করবার চেষ্টা করছেন। আমরা ওই ধরনের ব্যবসা করার জন্য এটা করি না। আমাদের কথা হচ্ছে সাম্প্রদায়িক সম্প্রীতিকে রক্ষা করতে হবে, মানুষকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যেতে হবে। যারা মারা গেছেন তাদের মধ্যে তো আদিল শেখ ছিল, তারপরে ওই ঝন্টু শেখ ছিল, সবার কথাই তো ভাবতে হবে।
Komalika Sen Gupta joins me with more perspective on the broadcast. Komalika, just ahead of Prime Minister's visit to Bengal, how will Guha's remarks be perceived? Also, this when the TMC had largely stayed united with India as far as our armed forces are concerned.
This is a very responsible comment as stated by the BJP. BJP is going to take this issue up, that's very sure. And this is a place which is absolutely in the border. It's Coach Bihar is absolutely in the bordering area of Bangladesh. And tomorrow the Prime Minister is supposed to come. Here, the Udayan Guha, we have spoken to Udayan Guha, and though he does not want to comment right now on this, but he accepted what he said. He has said that the BJP, the Prime Minister Modi, is trying to take political advantage of it and trying to sell it. Now, this type of comment is absolutely uncalled for, as stated by BJP, when the entire their party is supporting the cause, and also none other than their National General Secretary is been travelling and telling people about what has happened and taking the obviously presenting the India facts. There is a demand of a parliamentary session. That's the party stand, that there should be a parliamentary session, and they should come up that, you know, why this happened, and other details should come up in the parliament. That is the demand that Mamata Banerjee has also been placed. But this type of comments, that is something which is uncalled for. Till now there has been no official reaction of Trinamool Congress, but then whether Trinamool Congress does something, anything, or cautions him or not, that is to be seen. Definitely this is one issue which will be picked up during the election also, because Bengal election is year after. But the thing is that at present situation, this type of comments are uncalled for. That's what experts are saying, and that too from a place which is absolutely located in the border, and when none other than the Prime Minister is coming tomorrow.
Many thanks to you, Komalika, for bringing us all those inputs. And as Komalika was highlighting that the BJP has already criticized Guha's comments, let's listen in to how Shahzad Poonawalla of the BJP has reacted.
On one hand, TMC says that it is with the country, it is with the armed forces, it is the one which is supporting Operation Sindoor. But on the other hand, its tall leader Udayan Guha, who's a serial offender, with the comments he's made on women, on doctors who are protesting during the Arjikar case, says that Operation Sindoor is being sold. Sindoor is being sold as a business. He also makes comments on the humble background of Prime Minister, who was a chaiwala. This shows not just the elitist mindset of the TMC, it also shows the mindset to attack the Sena's manobal. And this is not a sanyog, it is not a prayog, it is sahyog to Pakistan, to attack the manobal of the forces. Congress has made these statements calling it chutput. Then we have seen how it was compared to Operation Blue Star. Then we have been seeing how the statements have been made to undermine the Indian forces. We have seen how Pakistan is being given clean chit. And now the TMC makes this kind of comment on Operation Sindoor, disrespecting the bravery of our soldiers. It has become the part and parcel of TMC's politics, because they put vote niti and also they put parivar niti above Rashtra niti. And therefore, Mr. Udayan Guha has made this statement. TMC should immediately act on Udayan Guha and should show that they stand with the armed forces, that they stand with the poor people of this country, and they do not mock them for being chaiwala or for having humble background.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Alipurduar in West Bengal, Minister Udayan Guha has sparked a political firestorm with a controversial remark about Operation Sindoor. Udayan Guha, the Minister of North Bengal Development and a key Mamata Banerjee ally, has said that Operation Sindoor is being sold as a business. Someone who used to sell hot tea is now selling hot sindoor. The BJP has strongly condemned Guha's remarks, calling them an insult to the martyrs of the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam and a disrespect to India's armed forces. The party demanded Mamata Banerjee take
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan, and we start with more good news as Bharat is going to bolster its own arsenal to try and become far more sashakt, stronger militarily. This edition talks about Bharat's naval posture, which is getting further bolstered. The INS Tamal, the second of the four Talwar class stealth frigates, has been acquired in 2016. The Indo-Russian agreement, it is poised to bolster Bharat's maritime posture. The impending arrival of the INS Tamal, Bharat's newest BrahMos armed stealth frigate from Russia, serves as a potent symbol of enduring strategic partnership between New Delhi and Moscow. Now, the frigate is armed with BrahMos and fitted with onboard systems, all built in Bharat. The first ship of this batch, INS Tushil, was commissioned back in December 2024 by the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, undertaking an extensive transcontinental journey to Bharat. Now, this approach aligns with Bharat's Make in India and Self-Reliant India initiative, signifying a strategic pivot towards indigenous defence production. Now, these frigates, classified as improved Krivak III class vessels, also known as Project 11356, are designed for long-range blue water operations or deep sea operations.